Good evening to you guys. Thanks for family, friends, board members, faculty members for coming out. Members of the YSU Department of Intercollegiate Athletics. 2013 and 14 was another outstanding year of academic and athletic accomplishments. And we are thrilled to share these with you this evening. In addition to acknowledging the phenomenal support of numerous individuals, families, and businesses who financially support our student-athletes' pursuit of excellence. The conclusion of this academic year as it draws to a close, it was an illustration of the YSU interim president, Dr. Ikram Khawaja. Dr. Khawaja came to YSU in 1968 and served 17 years as chairman of the Department of Geological and Environmental Sciences. During his time in the geology department, one of his many significant accomplishments was his facilitation of a donation of $1 million worth of minerals that led to the founding of the YSU Clarence R. Smith Mineral Museum. He has been a loyal YSU stalwart, rising to numerous appointments as dean, provost, and vice president for academic affairs, and now serving in the highest administrative capacity as interim president. His career is marked with a commitment to recruiting a strong faculty, coupled with enhancing teaching, learning, and research. After his retirement this summer, Khawaja plans to return to his home country of Pakistan to assist in furthering its educational development. Please extend a gracious welcome to the stage, President Ikram Khawaja.
Thank you. That was longer than I thought it ought to be, but appreciate it. Good evening. This is really a feast for one's eyes to look at this room, the capacity and the energy that's represented here makes one come to work and make it all worthwhile. Before I make very brief comments, I'd like to recognize some individuals that are here who give enormous amount of their energy and time working in the interest of this institution, and they are our Board of Trustees. As you know, the board is appointed by the governor. It includes 9 members from the appointed list of community leaders, educational leaders, as well as 2 members who represent our student body. So altogether, we have 11 members that represent and guide us and provide the leadership. So those in attendance today, I would like to introduce, and if you would hold your recognition until all have been introduced, appreciate that. I'll start with Senator Harry Michel, Mr. Jim Green, Dr. John Jakubek, Mr. Carol Weimer, Mr. Dave Dybel, Melissa Wasser. I hope there's nobody else that I can't say for sure. Also included today in our midst is a former member of our Board of Trustees, Diane Batanti Millador. Thank you. At this point, I would like to just make a very brief remarks, if you would permit. This gathering that we honor today, the young scholar athletes, if I could be asked, what is your dream product that you could design for the university? This would be it. These are individuals who are not only have competed and shown in the academics that they can compete and are scholars by any standard, they have also excelled in their chosen field of sports. This is the ideal model of a scholar athlete. And this is what we all aspire that our product, our students would be at different levels. That is, they will develop their intellectual abilities as well as their physical competitiveness, and a complete person would. So I salute you. I thank you for making us proud. And again, every year I see that the level of achievement is amazingly exceeded from last year. And so this year is no exception. Again, please give this group a combined hand for showing what they have done and accomplished. With that, again, my congratulations and thank you.
Before we continue with tonight's program, would you please help me extend a huge thank you to Debbie Pinchatino and the entire Chartwell's catering staff for the wonderful meal and service we enjoyed this evening. This academic year saw once again significant enhancement to the facilities of YSU and the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics with the opening of the sports complex on 5th Avenue that is now home to our soccer, softball, and track and field varsity programs. In addition to the new sports complex, the basketball and volleyball programs are also now benefiting from a new state-of-the-art weight room, media video room, as well as a video board in Beagley Center. Mr. Schroeller's continued leadership is facilitating significant enhancements to Beagley Center this summer. Academic success and graduation of our student athletes continues to excel under Mr. Schroeller's tenure, as well as his leadership and in achieving record-breaking fundraising results. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Executive Director of Athletics, Ron Schroeller.
Thanks, Torian. The great thing about having student athletes be your MC is they read the introductions exactly the way you read them or you wrote them. So I appreciate that. That's a job well done. Just wanted to welcome everyone to this 26th annual Scholar-Athlete Banquet. And Joe Malmazer's not with us here today, but it's just incredible that this is the 26th year. My duties here are small, because Elaine knows my limitations, so she keeps my my responsibilities really tight. I'd like to thank Dr. Ikram Khawaja and the Board of Trustees for being here tonight. Really want to thank the parents and the student athletes. Every year this room, we try to squeeze more and more people into it. I think that says a lot about the work and dedication our student athletes have towards graduation, and there's an awful lot of parents in this room that have committed a lot of time and effort in their life just making sure that their young people's priorities are in order, and clearly they've done a great job. I want to thank all the endowed scholarship recipients and obviously the donors for their commitment to our student athlete success. I wanted to thank Alfreda. Frida's traveling the country. She doesn't get to spend much time at home. I got to spend 3 days down in sunny Florida with her before we got to fly back to this beautiful weather. So it's definitely appreciation, and I look forward to the summer. And I know that these individuals are going to be thanked an awful lot of times here tonight, but I wanted to thank Marty Hayden and Marilyn Abruba, specifically. They do a job of 4 or 5 people, and if they can please stand and be recognized. Another person that's going to be introduced, but is really a special person to this athletics department in this institution. And her husband's a legend here, and I know she did everything to make him that. And Connie Roselli. If Connie can please stand and be recognized. My introductions, first I want to introduce, we have an Intercollegiate Athletics Council that meets twice a year. and it really serves as an advisory capacity to our president. And there's a lot of commitment and time for these individuals, and they take their job seriously. And if I can announce their names, and if they can please stand to be recognized. Jack Fahey's our chair, Vice President of Student Affairs. Chet Cooper, our faculty athletic rep, I know is here, and Ken Brayer. So if you please give them a round of applause. Some coaches in attendance, again, if they can please stand, and then if we can wait till they're all announced and recognize them. Coach Hardaway, our volleyball coach. Coach Wolford, our football coach. Matt Anderson, our swim coach. Coach Barnes, women's basketball. Brian Campbell, who's getting in the nitty-gritty of their schedule here as we get down to the end. Coach Gillespie, baseball. Brian Gorby, track and field. Obviously, we've got high hopes for that program, and part of the reason Alfreda's up in this area of the country is that we get a chance next week to host a track championship just right over there across the street. Tony Joy, men's golf. Nate Miklos, our women's golf coach. Both finished third down in the Horizon League Championships this past weekend. And for those that had a chance to be up at our reception a little bit earlier, it was an exciting time as our women's tennis team got a chance to find out where they are heading in the NCAA tournament. You know, there's only 64 Division I teams playing right now, and our women's program's one of those. And our men's tennis team actually had one of the best finishes ever also. And if Mikhail Sopel could please stand and be recognized. So with that, you know, there's a lot of people in here that commit a lot of time and effort to our student athletes, and we're so grateful. And I'm sure as you spend time with them, you can be very proud of the young men and women that they are. So appreciate it and enjoy the night. Thanks.
And I just want to reiterate what he said. Congratulations to the women's tennis team, a big accomplishment. First time in school history, and also to the men's. And I thought it was fitting to share this quote. Success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. And that's by Arthur Ashe. And that just doesn't apply to the tennis teams, but all teams as well. So, next person I want to introduce is a former student athlete and YSU graduate, Paul McFadden. Was appointed president of the YSU Foundation in 2011. The foundation pursues, manages, and distributes resources to support scholarships and student initiatives, as well as the growth and development of Youngstown State University. Mr. McFadden is a former place kicker in the National Football League, where he became widely known for his barefooted kicking style. And after ending his career as a professional football player, McFadden returned to Youngstown, where he served as Director of Athletic Development from 1993 to 2000, and Chief Development Officer from 2002 to 2011. So we warmly welcome to the podium one of our own success stories, Mr. Paul McFadden.
Thank you, Torian. It is a great privilege this evening to introduce two special groups that assist our student athletes. The first group is our Penguin Club Board of Trustees, volunteers who give up their time on behalf of our student athletes throughout the year. I'd like to introduce them. I'd like them to stand and remain standing until all names are called. Please hold your applause until the entire board has been introduced. The second vice president, Tom Hura. Immediate past president, Gunther Laddick. Executive director, Ron Strollo. Associate director, Jim Morrison. And trustees, David Dybel, Frank Frateroli, Daryl Morrison, Dr. Michael Millador, Mr. Robert O'Leary, Mr. Angelo Pizzulo, Mr. Reed Schmutz, and Mr. Paul Williams. Please join me in acknowledging the Penguin Club Board of Trustees. Our second group is a very, very special group to us. They are our endowed scholarship donors, and we introduce them with their student recipients. To our students, you carried a special honor this year, a family that sponsored you. You'll carry that name throughout your life. But to our endowed scholarship donors, please know how profoundly grateful we are to you. The names we call off this evening of our endowed scholarship donors will be calling off for generations here. In 100 years, these names will still be called on our campus, as these endowments will still support our students. We have 3 new scholarships I'd like to announce first this year. Unable to join us, but Joe Malmaser, founding the East High Golden Bear Alumni Scholarship. The Feld Family Scholarship, represented by Kathy Lynn and Phil Feld. Please stand. And the Melanie and Maggie Cisnowski Memorial Scholarship, represented by Monica Hughes. Please join me in thanking these families for their new scholarships. As I call off these endowed scholarships, we would like our endowed scholarship sponsor to stand and their student recipient to stand. Please remain standing until all endowments have been recognized. The Andrews Trust Endowment, represented by Mr. Paul Williams. The Robert Camardo Sr. Scholarship, represented by Marianne Camardo, student recipient Sean Amaker. The Curbstone Coaches Scholarship, represented by Mr. Joe Maxim, student recipient Fred Herdman. The Dr. Irma D'Antonio Scholarship, represented by Sandra D'Antonio, student recipient Stephen Page. The Jean D'Antonio Scholarship, represented by Mr. Robert Camardo Jr., student recipient Allison Mitzel. Special thanks to the Camardo and D'Antonio families sponsoring 3 endowed scholarships. The Irvin Dodge Scholarship, represented by Mrs. Louise Dodge, student recipient Brandon Pluchinski. The Bob Dove Scholarship, represented by Bonnie Dewberry and Nancy Dove, student recipient Connor McFadden. The Dover Club Scholarship, represented by Marianne O'Toole, student recipient Monica Tuvel. The Dennis and Jan Haynes Scholarship, represented by Mr. and Mrs. Haynes, student recipient Terry Johnson. The Deborah Hinkle Scholarship, represented by Mr. Dave Hinkle, student recipient Steve Zaborski. The Tony Joy Sr. Scholarship, represented by Tony Joy Jr., student recipient Trevor Jones. The George and Helen Kohut Memorial Scholarship, represented by Marlene Ogle, student recipient David Saluga. The Kozar Family Scholarship, represented by Mr. and Mrs. Bernie Kozar, student recipient Kurt Hess. The McAtee Family Scholarship, represented Mr. Ray McAtee, student recipient Teresa Stevens. The Jack and Mary K. McFadden Scholarship, represented William McFadden, student recipient Heidi Schlegel. The McKenna Family Scholarship, Representative Thomas McKenna, student recipient Casey DeAmbrose. The Dr. Michael B. and, the Doctors Diane B. and Michael J. Millador Scholarship, represented by Dr. Mike and Diane, student recipient Marta Burek. The Joseph Nudo Family Scholarship, represented by Mr. Joe Nudo, student recipient Octavius Brown. The Robert and Marilyn O'Leary Scholarship, as well as the Robert and Marilyn O'Leary Endowment, represented by Mr. and Mrs. O'Leary, student recipient Aislinn Merlin. The Penguin Club Endowed Scholarship, represented by past President Gunther Laddick and Mr. Reed Smuts. The Penguin Club Endowment this year eclipsed the $1 million mark. So it has 4 recipients: Robert Grace, Hannah Rope, Missy Hundelt, and Duad Kabli. The Richard Peterson Family Scholarship, represented by Mr. Richard Peterson. Student recipients Dylan Colucci and Kristen Wilson. The Angela and Donna Pizzulo Scholarship, represented by Mr. and Mrs. Pizzulo. Student representative Dante Nania. The Judith Ann Ritz Memorial Scholarship, Representative George Ritz. Student recipient Pat O'Brien. The Stanford D. Rivers Scholarship, represented by Mr. Stanford Rivers. Student recipient Dale Perlman. The Coach Dom Roselli Scholarship, represented by Mrs. Connie Roselli. So special to have you this evening, Mrs. Roselli. Student recipient Josh Chinaki. The Reed and Judy Schmutz Operating Endowment, represented by Mr. and Mrs. Schmutz. The Ray Travellini Scholarship, represented by Mrs. Jan Travellini. Student recipient Nate Adams. The Van Sickle Foundation Athletic Scholarship, represented by Dr. Daryl Mincy. Student recipient Jackie Podleski. The William Wallace Watson Scholarship, represented by Elizabeth Alexander, Thomas, and Chrissy Watson. Student representative Christian Bryan. And the Youngstown Roadrunner Club Scholarship, representative Mr. Dan Shields. Student recipient Anna Pompeo. Please join me in acknowledging these wonderful donors.
The next guy I'm about to present was one of the first guys I met when I came to Youngstown State almost 5 years ago, going on 6 soon. Dr. Chet Cooper, an associate professor in YSU's Department of Biological Sciences, fulfills the NCAA role as the athletic department's NCAA faculty representative. As a faculty member in the Molecular Biology and Microbiology Division of the YSU Department of Biological Sciences, Dr. Cooper's primary teaching responsibilities are in the general field of microbiology. In his capacity as faculty athletics representative, Dr. Cooper serves as a liaison between the faculty and the athletic department, and he represents YSU in NCAA, Horizon League, and Missouri Valley Football Conference matters. This guy you can go to for anything, talk to, feeling down, whatever. He's that father figure away from home. So I recommend it, and he's going to become a myth and a legend when he retires here too as well. So please help me welcome Dr. Chet Cooper.
Oh, the son I never knew I had. Yes. Thank you, Tori, and that's very touching. I really mean that. Thank you. And yes, I am a myth. Ask my wife. Okay. You know, not only am I a faculty athletic representative, first and foremost, I'm a professor and chair of the academic senate. And as you probably know, that this is another season going on here, my favorite season at YSU. It's called the banquet season. And this is my second banquet within the week, and they're 2 of my favorite banquets. One last week, the Student Awards Banquet, and tonight the Student Athletes Banquet. And you are seeing what YSU really is tonight, all these wonderful young people and the things they're accomplishing. And I can tell you that first and foremost in my life, academics is where it's at. And I got to tell you, after being at these last 2 banquets, I have seen the future, and this country is going to be just fine. Let me tell you what a faculty athletic representative is. It's as Torian said, it's an NCAA mandated position. Basically, I serve at the pleasure of the president and are his or her eyes and ears on the athletic department. I serve as a sort of checks and balances, making sure that student athletes are doing what they're supposed to do and that the athletic department is doing what they're supposed to be doing for the student athlete. So my job I've taken on is student welfare. And my job, as I see it, is to encourage students to excel, but also hold them accountable when they come up a little short. And I got to tell you, it's the most rewarding, fulfilling job, and one of the best things I do here at YSU. But I have not been the only faculty athletic rep here at YSU. I've been preceded by a number of really honorable and very talented individuals, and two of them of the former FARs are here tonight. One you've already been introduced to, Kathy Lynn Feld. Kathy Lynn, could you stand, please? I know you're over here. And Frank Tarantine, and I believe he was down, there he is. Hi, Frank, how you doing? Would you give them a hand, please? Part of my duties is literally to sit with a group of people once a semester to go through every academic file of every student athlete here on campus. And that takes a tremendous amount of effort, because what we're looking for is to make sure our student athletes are progressing the way they are supposed to be doing their primary job, which, believe it or not, is academics. All right, even though they excel in sports, they're here to get an education, and that's what we're here to help them do. I work with a wonderful group of people, actually people smarter than me, and two of the people who help do this aren't here tonight. Denise Walters-Dobson and Sally Kenny, they're advisors here at YSU and very talented people, and they do all the real hard work. I also work with three other people, our compliance staff, who are also very wonderful. They know all the nitty-gritty rules, and two of them are sitting down here tonight, Elaine Jacobs, Emily Woolett. Would you please stand? I know you hesitate to do it, but do it anyway, okay? And Jesse Potter, who he's not here tonight, is he? Where's Jesse? Oh, Jesse, you're hiding. Jesse, stand up. Okay. How could I miss you? You're only 7'4". I mean, okay. And finally, they've already been introduced tonight, but if you ask any student athlete, these two people are the heart and soul of their academic careers here at YSU, and that's the athletic department advisors. And, you know, they are the people that see that our student athletes excel in the classroom. And I would like them to stand up one more time. Marilyn Abruba and Marty Hayden, please. Thank you very much. And Torian, I'll turn this back over to you. And I appreciate it. And remember, our student athletes are number one, not only on the field, but in the classroom.
One of the most highly respected women in intercollegiate athletics today, now in her 16th year as an executive member of the Horizon League, Alfreda Goff serves as Senior Associate Commissioner and Chief of Staff. In this capacity, she serves the league as its Director of Championships, Senior Woman Administrator and League Governance Liaison, and oversees all championships. During her illustrious career, one of Ms. Goff's passions has been a commitment to women's professional growth. To this end, Goff is one of the founders of the annual Women's Leadership Symposium, which has worked to help women enter and advance in the field of intercollegiate athletics. To date, more than 1,000 participants have attended the conference, which enters its 12th year in 2014. We are honored to welcome to the podium Alfreda Goff.
Good evening. Thank you, Torian. Appreciate that. As Elaine knows, this is one of my favorite visits to the campus. I always enjoy coming to YSU. And I'm retiring next year, but I want Elaine to know that I can always come up and present an award or just come up and eat. It doesn't matter, you know. But just so you know, put me on the docket for next year. But I truly do enjoy it. But as I was sitting here tonight and I'm listening to all the accolades being given, which are all richly deserved, the one thing that stuck out to me is an old saying, and if you're 50 years or older, you probably know this: it takes a village to raise a child. And think of that. How many people are here in different capacities working with your student athletes? And without those individuals, if we take one of those away, they're not going to be as successful. So hats off to YSU, who's gotten it right. The student athletes that come here know that they will have a support system that will help them grow as individuals, emotionally, socially, athletically, and especially academically. Because when they walk away, they know they are prepared to go out into what we call the real world. So congratulations to all of you who are committed, the people who support you throughout the days, the weeks, the parents especially. For many of you, you've made some personal sacrifices, not just these 4 or 5 years, but starting back when you were taking them to Little League. I've been there, done that. You sat in the cold, you packed up lunches, you brought food for everybody to help them achieve their dreams. So hats off to our student athletes, parents, grandparents, and anyone who had any influence in their lives. One of the things that we like to make sure our student athletes understand in the Horizon League, that there's more to life than just playing your sport. That giving back is really, really important because that's a lifelong lesson. Also, your behavior, how you behave, how you represent your university. And I'm happy to say that I haven't seen too many headlines on ESPN about Horizon League student athletes, except when they're doing something good. So that makes me feel good because they are the face of the Horizon League. The Horizon League are our 9 member schools, of which YSU is one of them. So the Penguins are doing their good job. And I continue to run into student athletes who are students here and their parents were student athletes of mine. So I had the great pleasure a few days ago that a young lady came up to me, grabbed my arm, and called me by my first name, and I'm looking at her like, who is this lady? And she said Wilmerding, which is where I grew up, and that's outside of Pittsburgh. And then she said Anita, and then I just went off, started saying, Anita Speranzo, and all the things that she did. And I said, well, why are you here? And she said, my daughter plays golf for Youngstown. So this is the third sort of relationship I've been able to reconnect. Last year as a soccer player, and the very first connect was a student who became a full-time faculty or staff person here, and I had taught his mother. So I'm only 29, so, it just happens like that. But it is my pleasure to present 4 awards. 2, we will just have the student athletes stand because we are honoring student athletes for their academic achievements. And in the Horizon League, we have 2 academic awards, 1 male, 1 female. It's called Raise Your Sights, and they are academic awards, and each institution selects their individual winners. And this year, representing YSU, we have for the women's team, it's the cross-country team with a collective GPA of 3.5. So all cross-country women athletes, if you would stand, please. And our men's winner at YSU this year is our men's tennis team with a 3.35 collective GPA. So will all the men's tennis team members that are here please stand? The other 2 awards that we like to give, as I mentioned, is for service, and that's community. And here again, we allow each institution to determine how they want to present their winner or select their winner. And this year's was the Team Community Service Outreach Award goes to women's softball. And I'm asking Haley Knight to come forward to receive the award on behalf of the softball team. Haley? And I'm going to sort of steal the thunder of the SAC presentations because it is a Horizon League award. So SAC, I hope you forgive me. The Sportsmanship Award is given to Anthony Rohan, men's baseball. And if Anthony's here. He's saving his energy. So on behalf of the Commissioner, John LeCrone, I say thank you for allowing the Horizon League to be in your presence today, and we thank you for being great members, and the best of luck to you. Thank you.
All right, now to that time of the program where announcing all student athletes ranging from 3.0, 4.0. So the following, and hold your applause until I name everybody. The following have earned a 3.0 and 3.24 cumulative GPAs. Derek Burgess, football, business. Joey Cejudo, football, exercise science. Dylan Colucci, football, undetermined. Brittany Dowd, soccer, photography. Taylor Gapczynski, soccer, hospitality management. Jacob Griffith, football, engineering. Taisha Kaiser, soccer, exercise science. Cole Kochman, football, communications. Jim Kurtz, swimming, middle child education. Kim Kurtz, my bad, Kim Kurtz. Maria Lasatina, softball, engineering. Ashley Lawson, basketball, public health. Nicolette Merlot, soccer, general studies. Angela Mulaski, golf, middle child education. Arnaldo Morales, track and field, exercise science. Stephen Page, football, biology. Max Schmerin, tennis, communications. Carson Sharbaugh, football, general studies. Megan Seifert, diving, geography. Teresa Stevens, swimming, chemical engineering. Brittany Tennis, soccer, math education. Eric Thompson, football, nursing. Lauren Thompson, volleyball, early childhood education. Nicole Thompson, volleyball, allied health. Eric Vendemia, track and field, marketing management. Brian Yo, golf, general studies. Let's give a round of applause for those guys. Congratulations. The following have earned 3.25 to 3.49 cumulative GPAs. Dana Boers, volleyball, undetermined. Megan Champia, swimming, nursing. Antoine Cox, football, exercise science. Bailey Dittman, diving, forensic science. Nina Grambling, track and field, communications. Leanna Hartzell, track and field, physical education. Kurt Hess, football, early childhood education. Jenna Hirsch, basketball, exercise science. Zishan Ishmael, tennis, biology. Nichelle Johnson, volleyball, public health. Trevor Jones, golf, chemistry. Daewoo Kabli, tennis, communications. Carly Klein, soccer, nursing. Haley Knight, softball, nursing. Jordan Macy, softball, undetermined. Hannah Martin, swimming, exercise science. Connor McFadden, football, engineering. Megan Monty, track and field, exercise science. Katie Montgomery, soccer, political science. Cole Newsom, football, exercise science. Haley Oatridge, volleyball, art education. Mike Palumbo, football, exercise science. Jonah Raflun, basketball, biology. Macy Reese, soccer, biology. Eric Roop, track and field, sciences, education. Lydia Scheringer, diving, mathematics. Jen Shiley, track and field, biology. Samantha Snodgrass, softball, exercise science. Taylor Teese, swimming, undetermined. Victor Theron, tennis, communications. Ramir Thomas, football, undetermined. Trisha Vallinger, swimming, exercise science. Shannon Watson, volleyball, marketing. Erica West, volleyball, criminal justice. Give a round of applause for those guys. The following have earned 3.5 to 3.74 cumulative GPAs. Nate Adams, football, finance. Kara Armstrong, soccer, nursing. Marta Burak, tennis, biology. Miranda Castiglione, softball, physical education. Casey Krauser, softball, special education. Courtney Ewing, softball, biology. Rebecca Fink, soccer, exercise science. William Gaffney, golf, psychology. Jessica Gehrig, volleyball, exercise science. Samantha Hamilton, track and field, exercise science. Chelsea Haney, criminal justice, soccer, criminal justice. Kendall Holman, track and field, exercise science. Missy Hundelt, volleyball, criminal justice. Jana Jansen, swimming, economics. Carolyn Jesko, tennis, psychology. Ainsley Merlin, golf, marketing. Allison Mitzel, golf, management. Ryan Masora, football, undetermined. Eric Myers, football, mechanical engineering. Kelsey Newman, basketball, engineering. Savannah Osborne, track and field, nursing. Anthony Parente, football, undetermined. Brandon Pluchinski, golf, management. Hannah Robb, track and field, dental hygiene. Allison Ryan, volleyball, marketing. Heidi Schlegel, basketball, middle child education. John Seaver, track and field, social studies, education. Sarah Staley, soccer, engineering. Brittany Stockmaster, track and field, geology. Stephen Savita, golf, engineering. Melissa Thompson, basketball, business. Monica Tuvel, basketball, accounting. Stephanie Vandukijk, swimming, psychology. Steve Zaborski, football, mechanical engineering. Give a round of applause for those guys too. The following have earned 3.75 to 3.99 cumulative GPAs. Erica Earhart, track and field, engineering. Monica Cirinello, track and field, math education. Sarah Dowd, softball, psychology. Megan Gunther, track and field, natural science. Liz Hornberger, basketball, criminal justice. John Hunanan, track and field, marketing. Sarah Ingalls, softball, special education. Allison Ludwig, soccer, middle child education. Grant Mercer, football, undetermined. Sylvia Mistranu, tennis, communication. Ellie Pollock, track and field, information systems. Anna Pompeo, track and field, general studies. John Richmond, track and field, engineering. Anthony Rohan, baseball, engineering. David Saluga, baseball, middle child education. Ashley Smith, track and field, language arts education. Justin Spencer, football, undetermined. Kayla Zocoli, soccer, exercise science. Give a round of applause for those guys. All right, the following have earned 4.0 cumulative GPAs. Mia Barchetti, golf, mathematics. Anina Brindle, tennis, psychology. Kayla Saramelli, golf, accounting. Heather Kuhnfer, soccer, math education. Robert Dixon, track and field, undetermined. Brad Good, football, engineering. Haley Guerrero, golf, art education. Rachel Hutton, soccer, language arts education. Serena Mauerman, track and field, early childhood education. Torian Pace, football, criminal justice. Jackie Podolsky, soccer, accounting. Elizabeth Roginski, track and field, engineering. Michelle Saladino, swimming, criminal justice. Alexis Schmidt, softball, biology. Brad Smith, baseball, finance. Mackenzie Sturts, track and field, graphics, interior design. Robert Switka, baseball, health and human services. Samantha Vaughn, soccer, psychology. Nicole Babel, track and field, dietetics. And Jacob Wood, football, engineering. Give a round of applause for those guys. All right. SAC representative, this year's SAC president, Carolyn Jesko, is a senior on the women's tennis team, and she will share with you about our student athlete advisory committee. Please join me in welcoming Carolyn to the podium.
Hi, everyone. As Torian said, I'm Carolyn Jesko, a senior on the women's tennis team, and I'm the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. The Student Athlete Advisory Committee, better known as SAC, is made up of student athlete representatives from each team. We meet every month representing our sport for issues on our campus, in our conference, and on national level topics. The mission of the Youngstown State University's SAC is to promote efficient communication between the athletic administration and the student athlete population regarding areas that impact the students' athletic, academic, and personal well-being. To actively encourage more involvement of student athletes in campus and community projects. To encourage unity, common purpose, and camaraderie between teams and among all athletes in the athletic program. And to establish a relationship with student government. In addition to campus SACs, there are conference SACs that have representatives from each school in the conference, and then there is the national SAC that has one member from each conference in the NCAA. Conference, campus, and national SACs all work together to establish a student-athlete voice in the NCAA. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our SAC advisor, Emily Wallet, who's done so much for us, and Nicole Strollo, who, as everyone knows, who's involved with SAC or just knows Emily and Nicole. They've done a lot of late-night emails and really have mentored me in ways that I can't even express, so I just like to thank them. And before I get to the awards that I'm presenting, I just want to thank my mom, my grandma, my sister Annie, and my dad over there. I love you guys very much, and I wouldn't be here without you. You guys are my greatest support system, so I just wanted to steal a couple more seconds and thank my parents and my grandma and my sister in front of you. But okay. So thank you. Since 1999, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee has selected a SAC Leadership Award winner. Criteria for the selection of the award winner include searching for opportunities to lead, enlisting others in a common vision, setting the example, recognizing individual contributions, celebrating team accomplishments, seeing an uplifting future, and fostering collaboration. This award is voted on by SAC, and this year the Female SAC Leadership Award goes to Liz Hornberger, women's basketball. And this year, the Male Leadership Award goes to Air Group, track and field. And I just wanted to take a quick second, too, to thank the athletic administration. Like Alfredo was saying earlier, the experience that I've had here at YSU has been an incredible journey, and I just really want to thank everyone that's been involved in my journey here. It means a lot. I know a lot of you guys are here, my teammates. I love you guys. Thank you.
The Department of Intercollegiate Athletics would like to thank the Vindicator for their sponsorship of the Athlete of the Year Awards. In attendance this evening, representing the Vindicator is Joe Scalzo, sports writer. Please join me in thanking the Vindicator for their support of YSU athletics. Now it comes to the high point of this evening's event. To the presenters that will be presenting Athletes of the Year. Before I want to get into that, I want to just share two quotes leading up into this event. A genuine leader is not a searcher for a consensus, but a holder of consensus. And wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you have preferred to talk. So, leading into that, would you please join me in welcoming Altika Van Wright to the stage to present our Female Athlete of the Year award.
Good evening. It is time to hear about a great, self-driven, inspirational, and strong young woman named Sierra Jarrett. I'm nervous, y'all bear with me. Sierra Jarrett has achieved many accomplishments here at YSU. Sierra Jarrett is the 10-time Horizon League champion. She is a 7-time 200-meter champion record holder for indoor and outdoor. She holds the school records in the 4x1 and 4x4 relays. Sierra Jarrett was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with her loving and supportive brother and parents, and her mother and brother is here today. One unique memory I know we all won't forget was the time Coach Townsend and Coach Gorby were on a recruiting trip to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for Sierra Jarrett, and they got a $419 speeding ticket. Sierra wasn't even on the team yet and already causing trouble. Sierra has been a great friend on and off the track. She is very encouraging. She gives advice and allows people to learn life struggles through her own. Even on the track, I would always go straight to Sierra and ask her, "So, C, how was my form? How was my race?" She was my mini coach. Sorry, Coach T, no offense to you. It's all love. Regardless of the struggles and transitions she faced in her life, she never gave up on herself nor her dreams. She has fought for everything that she gained and has become a great role model and mentor for young athletes in the surrounding area. It took Sierra a while to get the hang of being a college athlete, but when she did, she was the very best at it. The first time Sierra and I met was like we instantly became friends. You could not tear us apart, literally. People started to think we were sisters. Sierra has always been a loving friend. She would believe in me when I couldn't find strength to believe in myself, and for that, I will always cherish her. She is a very strong-willed individual, but believe me, she will get her point across whether you like it or not. I would imitate her voice, but I'll wait till after the banquet. I would have never thought of the day that I would be asked to honor Sierra. I really don't feel worthy. The memories and crazy moments we have shared will never be forgotten. I'm excited for what God has already done and where He is taking her. It is my honor and my privilege to present to you my ace boon, my ride or die, my sister, my best friend, Sierra Jarrett.
Good evening. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous, and I'm trying not to cry. Me and Nina have a bet that I won't cry, and she believes I'm gonna cry, but I think I might shed a couple tears. I'm really honored to be here because it's been a long journey, and I really didn't think I was gonna make it. I wasn't supposed to be here, and if it wasn't for my coaches, if it wasn't for my parents, if it wasn't for Marilyn and Emily, like really investing their time into me, I wouldn't be here. I'm sorry. But I'm really honored and privileged to be in this position and acknowledged with this award because there's so many great student athletes out there. Sam Hamilton, she's one of the coldest distance runners I've ever seen, just running so many long distance races and also just being a student and having great grades as well. Casey Crozier, I said your last name right? She's really good on and off the field, and just her spirit when I see her in, when I see her in the athletic training room, she just her aura is just loving, and she's just happy to be here, and she just wants to accomplish everything she can. And Caroline Jesko, she's such an amazing leader. Like, I look up to you, you don't even know it. The way she leads, the way she's national SAC rep, she handles SAC, she handles her athletics, and she handles her grades. It's just an honor to see. My accomplishments are just because of everybody that really planted seeds and gave me wisdom. Just like Miss Alfredo, I want to say your last name, sorry, Golf. Like she said, it takes a village to raise an individual, to raise a child, and that's truly what happened here on my journey and back at home. Like my dad said, I was a spoiled little brat when I came here, and I really just had to learn and turn everything around. And if you guys, all you faculty members, all you coaches, like if you guys want to invest in me, or if you guys want to invest in your athletes, like you guys really have a huge impact on our lives, and you don't even understand. You would never grasp. And all I just want to say is a quote that I learned: the rent we owe is the service that we give for living on this earth. And honestly, just keep giving into your student athletes and to your kids and to elders as well. Just take the time to invest, because it truly helps. I'm thankful, and I thank Youngstown State University, Ms. Jacobs, for acknowledging me, the Vindicator. And I just thank Youngstown State University as a whole for everything that they are doing on this campus. I kept it short.
And now to present our Male Athlete of the Year, please welcome to the stage Eric Squeams Vendemia.
All right, that was a really good speech, so be prepared for me to take it down a little bit. Good evening. I'm Eric Vendemi, as I said. I'm honored to be here tonight to present to you our Male Athlete of the Year, my teammate, Bobby Grace, who is a senior thrower and a captain of the track and field team. It's not surprising to me that few people in this area would recognize a YSU All-American track athlete. I'm well aware that track is not the biggest spectator sport. However, everywhere we go, they know when the thrower from YSU enters the ring. To go over a few accomplishments, Bobby has won the Indoor Horizon League Shot Put Championship 2 times and finished in the top 3 in his other 2 years. He has placed no lower than 9th in the weight throw 4 times in the Horizon League Championship. He has also won the Outdoor Horizon League Shot Put Championship 2 times, won the Discus Championship once, and won the Hammer Championship once as well. In 2012, Bobby won the Shot Put, Hammer, and Discus Outdoor Horizon League Championship, earning him the Most Outstanding Field Event Award. This past winter, Bobby was named the Athlete of the Year and Most Outstanding Performer at the Horizon League Indoor Championships as he broke the Horizon League Indoor meet record for shot put. Most notably, though, Bobby went on to the NCAA Track and Field Championships in Albuquerque, New Mexico, becoming only the 6th YSU athlete ever to make it to the NCAA indoor meet. He entered the competition ranked 11th out of 16 competitors and ended up moving all the way to 3rd place, scoring 6 points and earning YSU a tie for 32nd place overall in the nation. Bobby holds the school indoor and outdoor record for shot put, is 4th all-time in the weight throw and hammer throw, and is currently 3rd all-time in the discus throw. So far this spring alone, he has earned 1st place finishes in shot put at the Tennessee Sea Ray Relays and the Northeast Ohio Quad, and is currently ranked 8th in the nation in shot put with a throw of 64 feet, 2 inches. All of these awards, championships, and top 10 rankings do not shine enough light on who Bobby really is and what it takes to accomplish what he has. He puts everything he has into throwing. He studies it, he researches it, he eats, breathes, and sleeps it. He is continuously trying to improve, never settling for what he has already done. He uses his physical ability to his advantage and is the hardest worker at practice and in the weight room. This is my thought personally, that some athletes would even see what he does in the weight room and think that it's easy because he makes it look so easy through all the work he's done. And after every summer or winter workouts, the work he puts in, he makes crazy stuff look pretty easy in the weight room. Above all, though, his best quality is that he is the most humble and level-headed athlete I have ever been around. I'm sure he himself has forgotten some of the accomplishments I just listed because he's always focused on the next thing. A perfect example of this is me and my teammates standing in the indoor facility Monday after he placed 3rd in the nation at NCAA's, and he comes walking into the Watts to get right back to work and start getting ready for the outdoor season. He's exactly what you want in a leader. Everyone on the team looks up to the example he sets. He carries himself like a true professional and goes about his business every single day and does it with a great attitude. In my 3 years as Bobby's teammates, I don't think I have ever seen him in a bad or negative mood, which says a lot for someone who is so dedicated and pushes themselves so hard. That is what makes him a rare athlete who will go down as one of the best to ever come through YSU and who is more than deserving of this award. So enough of me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely honored and privileged to be here to present to our Male Athlete of the Year, Bobby Grace.
Thanks, Eric. First of all, I'd just like to say congratulations, Sarah. It's cool to share this award with a friend and a teammate. I know it's well-deserved. Secondly, I'd like to give John Seaver out there a shout-out. Usually I'm back and hitting another piece of pie with him, so I got a different view this year. When I found out that I got this award and that I had to write a speech reflecting my time here, I just kind of took a couple days to sit back and think about all the people that I've met and the friends I've made, the lasting memories, and really just how much I've grown up in the past 5 years. Every once in a while I go home and I visit my throws coach from high school who was pretty influential to me. And Coach Bosco always enjoys reminding me of my early years of high school. I finished dead last at my freshman year conference meet and scored a whopping half point all year. So whenever somebody tells him how good I am of a shot putter, he always shares that with them and takes me down a couple notches. A couple weeks ago, I was visiting with Coach Bosco. We were just kind of looking back at my entire career here, and I was telling him about my NCAA indoor experience, and then we kind of compared that to my first meet here at YSU at Kent State. I was so excited for that meet to throw with the Y on my chest for the first time, but it was a lot less exciting after I threw a very humbling 42 feet, and I'm pretty sure, like conference, my freshman year of high school, finished dead last. But these were the moments that really got me to where I'm today, and looking back on all these years, each year kind of seemed to represent something different. My freshman year here, I really just learned what hard work was. I was able to watch Aaron Merrill, who was also a shot putter and a recipient of this award my freshman year, and he really showed me what a leader, a role model, and champion work ethic look like at the collegiate level. My sophomore year was all about commitment. I understood what hard work was, but this year I really committed 110% to achieving every goal that I had, and everything from staying summers to Christmas breaks, putting in 2, sometimes 3 practices a day, I really just committed that year. Junior year, I got a glimpse of light. I was starting to put myself on the national stage just a little bit at the NCAA level. I was ranked 18th indoors and could see my goals were starting to come closer, but more time and work was needed. So last year was my 4th year and also my redshirt year. It was another year of learning. But this year I was really just loving the grind every day and really starting to appreciate what it takes to become elite. I've always loved throwing, but this year I really learned to love the parts that people hate. Early mornings, Sunday workouts, Christmas Eve practices, everything became just as fun as the actual meet. And finally, there's this year. I don't really have a summary or feeling for it quite yet because we're still in the middle of our season, but this year's been incredible. All the hard work has paid off, and it will continue to be a great season for me and my teammates. When I think about this year, I get feelings of excitement, happiness, and how fortunate I've been for everyone around me. My teammates, coaches, and most importantly, my family and support system. Without all these people, I wouldn't have been able to do anything that I just described, and then would no way be where I'm at today. I'm truly grateful and thankful for anyone who has affected me, everyone who has affected me over my life and career to this point. I'd like to take a moment and thank these people. Thank you to Athletic Director Ron Strollo and the entire athletic department staff for everything you guys do for all of us YSU athletes. Thank you so much to Susan Carfolo and Marilyn Obruba for all the academic help over the years. Thank you to my teammates and especially the throwers. You guys are a great group of friends, training partners, and you guys push me every day. Thank you to head coach Brian Gorby, Coach Brumfield, Coach Townsend, Coach Strollo. Thank you to my girlfriend Alexis. I told her I'd do that. My sister Christy and her husband Tim, my grandma Keller who was able to attend tonight, and to my entire extended family for all their love and support. I need to thank my 3 coaches at length for everything they've done for me. My physical preparation coaches, Brian Sklenar and Willie Danzer. These 2 guys have become great friends and have taught me endless amounts of information that have allowed me to become the athlete and competitor that I am. My throws coach, Brent Shelby. Coach Shelby's taken the long road with me and allowed me to develop as a thrower, which is a very hard thing to do. It takes a lot of work and a great deal of patience. These 3 have spent countless hours with me on days they should have had off with their families. Willie put it in perspective earlier this year when he was talking to a young group of throwers, and he said, in the past 4 years, he spent more Christmases with me than he has his own family. They deserve more credit than people realize, and none of this was possible without them. Finally, I'd like to thank my mom and dad. No words can explain how much they've helped me chase my dreams when at times they seemed unreachable. They're truly the best parents I can imagine, and I only hope one day that I can give back the support and opportunities to my kids that you guys have given to me. I love you guys. Thank you to everyone for coming out and making this possible. Good night.
All right, So you guys look at the time, it's just a little after 8, so we're doing pretty well. We did pretty well. Is Dr. Rogers out there? I just want to see if he's out there. There he is. I want to thank Elaine Jacobs for giving me the opportunity to be the hostess of this event. The host of this event. But no, I really enjoyed this opportunity, and I'm glad I could go out as a student athlete like this. I thank my dad for coming out all the way from Virginia, taking out his time from his work schedule. I appreciate that, and thank my mom for being that support through words back at home as well, and my brother too. So, but before I close, it's only a little after 8, I want to leave you guys with some just words of encouragement, inspiration as we leave this place. The true measure of an individual is how he treats a person who can do him no good. The doors we open and close each day decide the lives we live. And a verse that's dear to me, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. I'm not going to miss out, or just to you guys as well, I'm not going to miss out on something great just because it may seem hard. Find true friends are like an old man's teeth, far and few between. Often, we lose hope and think this is the end, but God smiles from above and says, relax, my child, it's just a bend, not the end. And as we go forth, well, before I get to that, in the words of Miles Monroe, your potential is much greater than what you are right now. Believe there is potential in you to accomplish something worthwhile. Jump by your own challenge. Don't wait for someone to challenge you. And also, if you can find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. So as I conclude, as we go forth into the future, we must remind ourselves to not take each day for granted. Thank the ones we love and attack each fear we have head on, because overcoming that fear will stretch us and mature us into the purpose that God has laid out for us. So thank you guys for coming out, family, friends, faculty. Have a good night.